I've always been a fan of solo getaways. No schedules, no small talk. Just peace and quiet in a new place, somewhere off the grid. So back in March, I booked a weekend trip to a little cabin Airbnb up in the Catskills. It was a converted woodshed, modernized just enough to feel cozy but still rustic. The photos showed warm lighting, wood-paneled walls, and a back porch overlooking the forest. Total privacy. Exactly what I needed. The host, Marie, had great reviews. Said she was hands-off but responsive. She messaged me 2 days before with the keypad code, directions, and a quick note to bring bottled water because the plumbing ran on well water and it could be cloudy. No big deal. I got off work Friday around 5 and drove straight up. I got there a little after 9:30 p.m. It was already pitch black out. The driveway was this narrow gravel path surrounded by trees on both sides, barely wide enough for my car. No lights, no street signs. It felt like driving into the middle of nowhere. I remember thinking, this is going to be perfect. When I pulled up, the place looked just like the photos, except darker. There was a little porch light left on for me, but it barely lit the steps. I grabbed my bag from the back seat and punched in the code. The door clicked. I stepped inside, and the place smelled faintly of pine and something else I couldn't quite place. Old wood, maybe, or dust. I dropped my stuff and did a quick walkthrough. Tiny kitchen, small bathroom, one queen bed in the main room, and a glass sliding door at the back that opened to the woods. Cozy, clean, nothing weird. Except for one thing. There was a coffee mug sitting in the sink. It wasn't spotless. It had a ring of dried coffee in it. I figured maybe the cleaner just missed it. Still, it was a little off-putting. But whatever. I was tired. I microwaved one of the frozen meals I brought, threw on a hoodie, and stepped out onto the back porch to eat. It was silent out there. No wind, no animals, no crickets. Just dead quiet. That kind of quiet that makes your ears ring. And the woods, something about them didn't feel right. I don't know how to explain it. You ever get the feeling you're being watched? I couldn't see anything past the tree line. Just solid black. I stayed out there maybe 5 minutes before going back in and locking the sliding door. That night, around 2:45 a.m., I woke up to the sound of the floorboards creaking. Just once, like a footstep. I froze. The place was so small, I would have heard someone come in. I stayed perfectly still and listened. Nothing. No footsteps. No rustling. Still, I got up and checked the doors and windows. All locked. Nobody outside. The coffee mug was still in the sink. I figured it was just the cabin settling. Old place, cold night. I went back to bed. The next morning, I made coffee and sat on the porch. The woods were a little less creepy in the daylight. Actually, kind of beautiful. Still dead quiet, though. Later that afternoon, I drove into town to grab lunch and more bottled water. At the little corner store, the guy ringing me up asked where I was staying. I told him. "You with Marie?" "Yeah," I said. "Why?" He gave this small shrug. "Cabin's fine. Just, people don't usually stay more than a night. Guess it creeps them out." I asked him what he meant, but he didn't elaborate. Just smiled and said, "You'll see." I laughed it off, but I kept thinking about it on the drive back. That night, things got worse. It started with this quiet shuffling, like someone brushing up against the walls. I was sitting on the bed watching something on my laptop when I heard it. I paused the video and listened. Then I heard it again. A knock. It wasn't at the front door. It wasn't on the glass out back. It sounded like it came from inside the bedroom closet. I stood up slowly, heart pounding, and stared at the closet door. It was one of those old sliding wood panels. I grabbed the handle and slid it open fast. Nothing. Just my duffel bag, a hoodie, and the empty corner. I left the light on that night. Didn't sleep much. Around 4 a.m., I was lying awake when I heard a series of soft beep, beep, beep sounds from the other room. The microwave. I walked out of the bedroom and just stared. The microwave display said 0015 and was counting down. No one had touched it. I opened the door. It was empty. I hadn't used it since the night before. My first thought was that someone was in the house, that maybe someone had never left. I rushed to the front door and tried to open it. Locked. I turned the deadbolt, but the knob wouldn't move. It wasn't jammed. It felt like someone was holding it from the outside. I tried the sliding glass door in the back. Same thing. The lock turned, but the door wouldn't budge. I checked my phone. 1 bar of service. I called Marie, straight to voicemail. I tried 911. It rang for maybe 3 seconds before cutting off. And then, in the silence, I heard breathing. Not mine. It was slow, raspy, and deliberate, coming from somewhere right behind me. I turned around so fast I nearly dropped my phone. No one there. Every shadow in that room felt alive. Every corner looked deeper than it should have. I backed into the corner of the kitchen, grabbed the biggest knife I could find, and waited out the rest of the night with my back to the wall. At first light, I tried the front door again. It opened easily, just like normal. I threw my stuff in the car and drove into town. I hadn't showered, hadn't eaten. I just wanted people around me. I parked outside a diner and connected to their Wi-Fi. That's when I got curious and started looking up the cabin's address. Not the listing name, just the address Marie had sent. One of the first results was a 5-year-old news article about a missing person. A guy from New Jersey had been staying at the cabin and disappeared. No signs of a break-in, no struggle. The host claimed he checked out early. But there was one thing that stood out. The last post on his Instagram was a photo taken from the back porch of the cabin. The timestamp showed it was taken the morning after he was supposed to have left. He was never found. I tried messaging Marie to cancel the rest of my stay. No response. Later that day, I went back to the Airbnb app to leave a review or at least flag the listing. It was gone. The listing wasn't just deactivated, it had been wiped. No trace in my booking history. No messages. Nothing. Like it never existed. I still don't know what happened in that cabin. Maybe the guy who went missing really did just walk off into the woods. Maybe there's something else up there that doesn't want to be alone. But sometimes, especially when I can't sleep, I still hear that breathing in my head, and I wonder if the guest before me ever left at all.